Wally. Sure does look confusing.
Well, it's not that bad. I just been thinking.
What could you possibly be thinking about?
Well, I was just thinking about hallway expectations, and would I walk on the left or right side of the road? Probably depends on what country I'm in, right?
Mom and Dad might be really helpful in a situation like this.
Welcome to this week's edition of Leave It to the Raider. This week's episode, Hallways, How to Be Safe, Respectful, and Responsible.
Well, hey, Raider. Hey, Wally. Ma, you sure look busy over there.
Yes, Wally, what seems to be on your mind?
Oh, well, it's just these hallway expectations. I just don't quite get them.
Well, they're easy enough, Wally. I mean, you just gotta break it down into its simple parts. It's all about being safe, respectful, and responsible. Back in my day, it would have been nice to know it's so easy.
But what makes you say that? You didn't know about hallway expectations?
Not at all.
Oh!
See, Wally, we didn't always know what to do in the hallway. But you do.
Well, I understand safe, respectful, responsible, but how does it look in the hallway?
Well, it's different now.
Like chocolate and vanilla?
Not ice cream. Hallways, little Raider. Not all Raiders used to understand to walk on the right side, walk at all times, and be aware of their surroundings. Times sure were different. On occasion, some people would walk on the wrong side of the hallway.
What a bad choice!
Indeed, Raider. Sometimes they'd be so unaware they'd walk right into other people or wide open doors. There were even moments they'd sprint right down the hall. And what's important is that you don't make the same mistake.
This seems really complicated. How do I make a difference?
Well, it's easy, young Raider. Just remember the basics. A safe Raider walks on the right side, walks at all times, and is aware of their surroundings. Just imagine a future where all the students are walking on the right side, they're aware of the things that are around them, and they walk through the hallways at all times.
Well, that's all well and good, but isn't there something to be said about being respectful?
Sure. Being respectful is just as important as being safe, and there's just so little you need to do it. A respectful Raider keeps hands and feet to self, they're kind and helpful, and they use inside voices. I can remember being in school in times when people really had a hard time keeping their hands to themselves.
What a loser!
Exactly. There'd even be times when books would be spilled on the floor, and others wouldn't even help. They'd just kick them down the hallway. Or worse, they'd use an outdoor voice. So you can just imagine how hard it was to navigate the hallways when I was in school, when it's so easy to do the right thing. You just need to remember the 3 basic rules. Keep your hands to yourself, be kind and helpful, and use inside voices. Just imagine that future where the kids walk right down the hallway keeping their hands to themselves.
Sounds pretty sweet!
And just imagine if they were kind and helpful to those in need.
Well, even I could do that!
Or if they used an indoor voice so they didn't interrupt the learning of others.
Seems legit.
Too legit to quit, probably.
Can you remind our boys that it's also important to be responsible in the hallways? You gotta share that space with a lot of other people.
Well, you're right, that is important.
Responsible schmonsible!
No, it really is important. A responsible Raider owns their actions. They tell adults about safety concerns and use manners. It was different when I was in school. It was hard to get people to own their actions, and they were quite rude walking down the hallway.
Not in my school! I wouldn't allow it!
Well, good, but we also saw students cut right in between teachers as they spoke.
Rude!
You're really starting to get the hang of this, little Raider. There were even times back when I was in school when something might happen, something might spill on the floor, and those concerns wouldn't be reported to adults, even if they were nearby. Usually this led to injuries to other students in the building, sometimes even friends.
What?
So, like your mother said, it's important to be responsible in the hallways, so we can walk through the hallways together and be safe.
And it's not like it's rocket science.
But that almost seems too easy, Pa. How do I do that again?
Well, remember it's easy. That a responsible Raider owns their actions. They tell adults about safety concerns, and they use manners. That future's a great place. A place where even when a Raider makes a mistake and they get corrected, they're quick to own their actions and fix the problem right in that situation.
Sounds like the smart move, Dad!
Well, it is, and there'd also be those raiders that tell adults about those safety concerns right away, so no one gets hurt.
Could that be me, Pops?
You sure could, little raider. You could also be one of those young raiders that uses manners when they're in the hall. There's no reason you can't be one of the best.
Really? Are you honest with me?
Definitely, and there's no reason you can't do it, so long as you always remember to be safe, respectful, and responsible.
Boy, that sounds great. Can we get a puppy now, Dad?
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Leave It to the Raider. This episode has been Hallways, How to Be Safe, Respectful, and Responsible. And as always, we remind you to be safe, respectful, and responsible in all environments.